Belmont Park. It's over the 1,200 metres, and again, we've seen these three-year-olds go head-to-head for a while. There's a couple of weight swings as well, with claims being involved, but I think it sets up for a very strong race.
Straight into the replay of number 7, last start winner Disco Smiles, a super ride by Lucy Warwick on that occasion.
Wrong leg coming around the home corner. Arafura pulling to the middle. Down on the inside is Bellflower with Outright. Coming along to the 250. Disco Smile led the way from Schnitzalong. He's our Freddie. Arafura, Atlanta Blue. Disco Smile tackled at the 100 by Schnitzalong. He's our Freddie. Disco Smile kicking. Schnitzalong drives at it, but it'll be all the way here for Disco.
It was a good win by Disco Smile on that occasion, but this is a very big step up. I wonder now how many type of races Disco Smile is going to be able to steal in this. Big sign already that Lucy Warwick's hopped off after winning on it. Peter Nucky takes a ride here. It was a good win. It beat Schnitzalong though, and Schnitzalong in this field's not going to get anywhere near them, so I think it's going to be caught short.
Got a dream run out in front against a lot weaker opposition, as you mentioned, Adam. I just loved the ride from Lucy on that occasion. She jumped and didn't expect to lead, but nothing else wanted to take it up, so she went to the front and dictated the whole way. It was a great ride on that occasion. In the race, we've also got number 4, Shady Grey, who was very disappointing last start. Didn't give anything in the straight. Hoping that's just an anomaly, that run.
Yeah, this horse has got its issues, so maybe that was one of the occasions. They don't expect many runs from this galloper, so that they've been able to string 4 together is actually a really good sign there. Of course, it won first up. Since then, it's been close, 3 lengths to Brisanto, only a half length to Great Shot. That form actually looks really good, but as you said, last start beaten 4 lengths by Pretentious Chance. So it is a bit of a watch because, as I said, this horse does have issues, but I'm expecting it to bounce back.
I was very surprised to see that you've also got this horse on top, number 9, It's Dynamite. Now, it's only one run race, but last start on a Wednesday was a super run behind Prime Witness. It was out wide and out back, and the way it just kept coming suggested big things to come for this galloper.
I don't think there's any surprises to have her on top. Her times are very good, and I think her form lines are way stronger than anything else in this race as well. Go back to that Rees Rocket run, was really good, only a length and a half behind. Only beaten 2 lengths by Let It Slip, which of course won the Magic Millions as well, and then beaten under a length by Prime Witness on a day, going into the race without a trial, on a day that didn't really suit you, wanted to be out in front. So for mine, she was probably the standout in this race. I think there's plenty of speed in it. She'll get back. Lucy on board was the biggest tick for mine as well. I think she'll really suit this filly. I think she'll be winning the race. So number 9, It's Dynamite on top for mine, from 1 Brisanto, 13 Uptown Funk, and 4 Shady Grey.
Number 9 on top for me, Adam, It's Dynamite, from 1 Brisanto, 4 Shady Grey and 13 Uptown Funk.
Race number 6 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,200 metres, and we're speaking the class of the day. This is probably the field that we're taking a look at.
Yeah, 100% the race of the day, Adam. Let's have a look at the replay of last start winner, Zakiros.
Straight Secret Nova on the outside, draws about a half a length on Foals Bet. Rebel King, here comes Windswept. Military Rain angling back towards the inside with a run as well. Fly Tego, then Dawn Approach. Zuccaros threading its way through with 100 left to go. Over on the outside, Windswept, Military Rain, and now bursting through Zuccaros through the eye of the knee.
Really good performance there by Zuccaros on that occasion. Managed to get the opening which it needed and sprinted through the gap to win comfortably by a length on that occasion. Going back 2 starts ago, it was beaten 2 lengths by Military Rain. So the form lines are questionable. Their steps up from 1,000 to 1,200. The biggest knock here, it beat Military Rain by 0.8 lengths. Military Rain meets at 4.5 kilos better here. So if you think that 4.5 kilos would make a difference, which I think is very clear from that run, it's hard to like Zuccaros on top of it.
Yeah, it's very, the weight swing, it's very hard to see this horse winning with that weight swing, but really like the ride from Clint John Supporter on that occasion. Rode it like a senior jockey. He did look like William Pike in the saddle, to be honest. Got through the field and weaved his way through really, really nicely. We've also got in the race number 3, Military Rain, as you mentioned, Adam. This filly just keeps continuing to surprise everyone.
She's never finished outside the top 3 at Belmont Park from 6 attempts at the track. She's had 4 victories, a second and a third. Then you take a look at the distance record as well. From what we've seen, I think people are getting used to her running over the 1,000 metres, but she's had 3 attempts over 1,200 and 1 on 2 occasions as well. With the 56 kilos from barrier 5, I think she can find herself to the front. Just slow them up nicely. That's going to be the big test for Randy Tam, because this filly has got a few quirks, but just slowing up nicely and then kicking at the top of the straight. But again, as I said, if you're looking at weight swings and this and that, 4.5 kilos on horses like Zuccaros, it's hard not to have her in your numbers.
Number 7, Windswept, looks ready to win, Adam.
Oh, I thought it was just an absolute certainty at the top of the straight last start. So it just loomed up perfectly. It was a good ride by Jared Noski, but just didn't have that killer punch. And it's remained that this horse hasn't won over the 1,000 metres, and I think that was a big knock. Stepping up to the 1,200 metres from barrier 3, this horse will get every single favour throughout the run. It meets Zuccaros 2 kilos better as well, and I think it's a way better horse than Zuccaros. So I really like it, and I've got it on top here. Number 7, Windswept, from 3, Military Rain, 5, Zuccaros, and 10, Penichi.
Yep, 7 on top for me too. Windswept, from 5, Zuccaros, 3 Military Rain and 9 Secret Nova.
Race number 7 at Belmont Park. It's over the 1,650 metres. And again, really looking forward to this race. Horses like Muskets of Dawn now better for the run under his belt. Universal Law has a big test with the weight. The Cobbler gets in with a lightweight again. And then you've got horses like a Slick Talker dropping back in distance.
Yeah, very good race. We'll go straight into the replay of last start winner Universal Law.
And they're followed by Thunderclap Newman down near the rail. Universal Law into the clear. The Cobbler's back behind them, just struggling for the moment. 200 left to go. Palace Intruder ranged alongside and hit the front. Joined though by Universal Law with 100 left to go. Universal Law hits the front. The Cobbler now gets going. Muskets at Dawn fights back, but this favourite's too good.
Strong performance by Universal Law. Strong's probably not the right word. I think grinding's the one you'd look at. It didn't have a brilliant turn of foot. It wasn't an exceptional run, but it got the job done. I spoke to William Pike on Sunday though at Pinjarra Park, and he said to me, look, if the Cobbler got out early, it probably beats us. And I agree with that completely. And now you look at that and it gets a 2 kilo swing again, 58 kilos to 52 kilos. And then you look at the barriers, barrier 2 for the Cobbler and 13 for Universal Law. I have to go the other way.
Yeah, I was about to bring up that point. The Cobbler, with any luck in the straight, probably wins, especially on the inside.
This is the Scales of Justice run that we saw last Saturday for Randy Tan. It's almost the ideal thing. The lightweight, perfect barrier. All he has to do is sit there, relax the horse, let the leaders do their job, pull out the top of the straight, and he should just go straight past them. And although the Cobbler's been a horse that has hurt many punters, I think it's one of the better bets of the day, just on stats.
Yeah, hasn't won in a while, but yeah, should get the win today, I agree, Adam. We've also got in the race number 2, Muskets at Dawn, which if it gets it easy enough out in front, could hold on to a place.
Well, we talked about numbers again. So it only lost by 1.8 lengths last start over Universal Law. Had to cross from barrier 10 on that occasion. It gets 4 kilos on Universal Law here. That's a massive weight swing. Again, that it was a nice spacing between the runs. It should be ready to go. The 1650 is ideal. I think Muskets at Dawn can run a really nice race and finish in the top 3. But as I said, it's very hard to go past number 13, the Cobbler. From 2, Muskets at Dawn, 3, Universal Law, and 10, Moon Search.
Yes, 52 kilos for the Cobbler. On top for me as well, from 3, Universal Law, 2, Muskets at Dawn, and 1, Raising Dubai.
Final race of the day at Belmont Park. It is over the 1,650 metres. And an intriguing race here. There's probably, to be fair, it's a midweek race on a Saturday, but there's some that are stepping up nicely. The likes of In This Life, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes. Futurism's been racing well, and even a good 3-year-old like Headlander Boy.
As you mentioned, Adam, it's probably like a midweek grand final, if you will. The better horses for the midweek races. And one of them who's flying at the moment, this Super Saver filly out of the Lindsay Smith yard, won well last start, beating Romello.
Von Coney, Polonise and Futurism. Romello headed the others with the Flirt coming down the middle. Gloryland under the whip, 250 to go from Rare Selection, In This Life, Tangier, Futurism. Romello winding up down the outside with his run. In This Life hit the front with 100 left to go. Romello flying on the outside. In This Life, Romello diving.
Really good performance there by In This Life. Now, the stable have a good opinion of her, and you can see why, but when I was going back through the replays, she just wasn't crazy convincing. It wasn't one that you just went, she just goes straight on top for what you've seen. The breeding's good, as you mentioned. The wins have been good. It was a strong win against Penthouse Pet first up. Then beating Romello, we've got a good opinion of, and did race well over the 16. Has failed since stepping up in distance. Barrier 10, a small question mark. The 56.5 kilos, but her form lines all the way through are much stronger than the rest of the field here, and she's 2 from 2 at the distance, so I'm willing to have her on top again.
Yeah, I think she'll be a lot more brilliant with a bit more cover. Paul Harvey last start pulled her out quite early. It would have been the middle of the turn, maybe about 650 mark, and she was out wide a long way from home, worked home and held off the likes of Romello and I think another one of Neville Parnham's runners, but I thought it was a really tough performance, and with a bit more luck, be able to flash a bit later and show a bit more brilliant turn of foot. We've also got in the race another 3-year-old, number 6, Headlander Boy. Ellie Cockram keeps the ride here. He's been racing well. Like, that great shot form should hold up quite well.
Yeah, it has been racing well. A small concern, I guess, it's carrying the same weight against some of these older horses, but they're not as good as some of those 3-year-olds as well. I think Great Shot would beat this field quite comfortably. Barrier 3 should get a really nice run. Has never finished outside the top 3 at the track and distance as well. And I didn't see a lot of speed in this race, so should get it quite comfortable out in front.
Number 9, Futurism. This 6-year-old mare by Lonro. Now, she's not a winner by any stretch of the imagination, especially the last most recent few starts, but at $34, I think it's opened up a bit longer than I thought it would.
Go back 3 starts ago, beaten 1.5 lengths by In This Life, gets a 2 kilo swing on that galloper for that, then jumps from barrier 4 as well with 56.5 kilos and Brad Parnham on board. There's some stats that I really like. I think it's a very good each way bet. I was surprised at the price as well. But as you mentioned, it is a non-winner. But looking at the track and distance record, 13 attempts, 3 victories and 5 placings. So it's always there and about this 6-year-old mare by Lonro. And I just thought, as I said, with that weight swing, with a nice barrier, she'll get a really nice run throughout and be attacking the line strongly. But found it very hard to go past number 10 In This Life. From 9 Futurism, 4 Ready to Fire and 5 Bonnie Zara.
As did I. Number 10 on top for me too, In This Life, from 6 Headlander Boy, 9 Futurism at very nice each way odds, and number 14 Le Schiller.
Time now to take a look at the best bets of the card. We know our Singapore viewers like certainties. I think we've got that in race 1. I'll be tipping number 5 High Viction. And then the horse that continues to get me, but the weight swings were too big to ignore. Race 7, number 13, the Cobbler.
Yes, for me, race 1, number 5 as well, Adam, High Conviction. And at race 3, number 1, Tradesman Should Salute Again.
A really good card of racing. Of course, there is more bigger races coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. So do visit perthracing.com.au for more information. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. On behalf of both of us, hopefully we found you plenty of winners.